Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Big Freaking Friday Show on the College Football Mafia Network. How we doing? My name's Nathan Bomber Brown. With me are my co-hosts, certainly for this show and all the other shows that we have around here. That'd be the Wild Ute and Moen After Dark. How you guys doing today?
What's up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
It is Friday. It's Friday evening. I said day. Yeah, the week just sort of cruised right by. How was your week, Moen? Oh, he's on the phone. Probably
Moen's
talking
got
to somebody
a
that's a
important
lot more
call going
important.
on there and stuff. So,
Yeah.
how's your week, Nate?
It was okay. We had a show on Wednesday. That was a lot of fun. And then Thursday, gosh, I'm a day off here. I did a call-in show last night that was a lot of fun as well. Just a lot of the silliness around the politics of college sports. What's going on with the College Sports Commission and Donald Trump throwing his hat everywhere that he can hope to get attention for something that he's done to save the world for college sports. Have you been tracking that story, the executive order nonsense that he's put out? And I have some background on it if you need it. I'm not sure how much you've been able to track it with your busy schedule.
Yeah, I've been able to track it. It's with an executive order, it comes and goes, right? It doesn't stick, so it's not a long-term solution. So
no, it really
we're not
isn't.
going that route.
Yeah, we need definitely something. Whatever has to come through Congress. There's no doubt about it. What that looks like and what the pieces are to, who knows? But all it is a distraction for the president to say, from his high chair, through a stroke of a pen, he can solve decades of rancor that have existed in college sports, just trying to stay on top of things. And I laugh at some of the people's comments to these things, thinking that they are going to have any force of law. They really don't mean anything.
Exactly. 100%. That is not the end-all solution here. We need to figure this thing out. We need to figure out NIL. We need to figure out private equity, baby. And that is the namesake of this show, because we're going to break down. There's some new ideas here in private equity. We're going to go over all the options, why it is needed for some conferences in particular. The Big 12 conference, y'all, just a little heads up here. Big 12 absolutely 100% needs private equity investment to compete.
Yeah,
we're going to get way into that. That is the thesis of this live show. We're going to hammer that down more and more and explain why. But Moen, how you doing, my man?
It's been a week, It's been a week.
What's the hat we're wearing today? It says USS what?
USS Blackout, 48-hour bender.
Okay, all right.
And we're working on it right now because I don't have Mad Dog anymore.
Oh.
What is that?
He's back to the CR. So you guys give me a wrap up. How did you feel like last Friday's show went?
Yeah, go ahead, Moen.
I thought the show went fine. We got a little bit off the rails sometimes, but Mad Dog didn't affect me at all. And I told him white trash genetics after two swallows of it. I took that bottle like it was I took that bottle like Grant took Richmond.
And why? You guys were talking about how it was such a silly drink and it tasted like it was rancid. Why?
Oh, it didn't taste good. I'm just saying the first two swallows kill every taste bud in your mouth.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then you could just go. Now it took you the whole show to get the bottle. So
yeah, we had to go 30 minutes extra in the show so I can get it in.
Really?
Moen got through it in about 30, 45 minutes. But it actually impacted me a lot more than Mo. And I had a rough night, guys. Like it was I started drinking water right after the show and I felt hungover like that night. And the hangover consisted into the morning, the next morning and stuff. When I jumped on the Mark Rogers, I was doing a quick thing with Mark Rogers.
Yeah,
I must have given the worst stuff in the world during that, guys. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. This has got to be bad stuff.
He didn't understand what you were offering him. I think that's what I would guess. Okay, all right.
Mad, man.
So there are a few headlines that came out this week. Let's start at the beginning of the week and through the middle. We had Mountain West Media Days. I do have, as we're continuing this discussion, I'm going to post the link that actually came from Keep Hope Alive to me. The link for the media deal, the rumored media deal, was posted this morning by Chris Bonini. I will post that so everybody has access to it. But what did you guys think about the Mountain West Media Days and how that went? We had a fun conversation about it on Wednesday night.
Yeah, go ahead, Moan. Go pine on that one.
The SEC Media Deals, more what you would expect from the SEC.
Hey, SEC, I meant Mountain West. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mountain West. I'm sorry. Mountain West, I don't know, but as far as Mountain West versus Pac-12, I'm Team Mountain West.
Why are you Team Mountain West, Mo?
I'm Team Mountain West. I will explain why.
Okay.
Oregon State and Washington State were very, very, very pro-contract on the exiting Pac-12 schools that left. Remember, they wanted to enforce that contract.
They did. That's right.
Now they have a memorandum of understanding, a contract with the Mountain West that clearly sets out poaching fees. The teams that left the Mountain West had agreed to a grant of rights that clearly set out exit fees. Suddenly they believe that neither of those contracts should be held up. So, it's the argument of I was for it before I was against it.
Right.
We like contracts when they benefit us, but when they don't benefit us, suddenly contracts are null and void, and we were in a poor position, and that's why we signed that. And listen, I think the Mountain West should get every freaking penny that the Pac-12 and those exiting teams owe.
So not just the leave fees, but also the poaching penalties.
They should get the poaching fees 100%. Oregon State and Washington State agreed to those poaching fees. You can't come back and say, yeah, we agreed to it, but we were in a bad position, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
So I am Team Mountain West at this point.
This is the state of college football. This is what happened. Like, you want chivalry or something like that? This is Darwinianism stuff, man. Come on.
Look, I'm just saying, if you're going to be for honoring contracts, you can't come out a year later and be for nullifying contracts.
I've got a suspicion that Ohio State would have done the same exact thing because it's best for their school, and they're going to try to get the best deals they can.
Absolutely not. We don't tolerate hypocrisy here at Ohio State.
The Buckeyes.
I don't. Well, you've never been in a position that you've had to, Moen. So it's easy to say some things. I am on the record. I'm not for or against the lawsuits or the poaching penalties. I just want what's best for both these conferences. I want certainly what's best for the Pac-12 because that at one time used to be a home conference for me. So that I have some emotional tie to that, but. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you tell everybody why you are for them? By the way, Jack Matheson says 100% Moen. I hope Mountain West gets all the fees they're owed.
Absolutely.
So you're not the only one. Go ahead, Ute.
Yeah, it's all about karma. It's
Karma's real.
Oregon State and Wazoo got absolutely screwed through the ringer.
Yeah.
They deserve to stay afloat, and they deserve to take out in the Darwinian state of realignment, take out the Mountain West Conference, the inferior conference. That's where we're at, guys. And I like the Pac-12 because the Pac-12 gave the call up to my Utes, and I will always love the Pac-12 conference for that. So I've got emotional bias here that I'm admitting to, and I want to see the Pac-12 survive over the Mountain West.
Okay.
Listen, that is the same argument like somebody robbed me, so I'm going to go rob somebody else.
It is
Judge,
the same.
You can't blame me because somebody robbed me first.
Moen, the Utes were in both conferences in the past, right? The Mountain West Conference, BYU remembers how bad it was. The channel that you'd have to watch football games on, the Mountains
the Mountain
Regional
West
channel,
was horrible. But
it's the worst product ever.
Okay,
They
There's no
deserve
doubt
to be
about that.
realigned,
That's
man.
true.
That-
But what
that
we're
can-
talking about here is realignment. It's not.
that could be
broadcast
100%
media.
true. I'm not going to argue that at all. The fact is, Washington State and Oregon State held every single member that left the Pac-12 to the standards of a contractual agreement. They entered into a contractual agreement with the Mountain West, and now they want to say,
Well, be very clear though. Hold on. It's a memorandum of understanding. It's not an actual contract that
Okay,
has
it's
the
still-
coaching fees on it.
yes.
Well,
it's-
there is a distinction. People try to conflate them, but they are two different things. That's why there's this question about whether they get them or not.
Right, but the argument they want to use is we were in a poor position, and because we were in a poor position, that should make it null and void.
Is that right? Is that
That
one of the
is
I
terrible.
haven't heard that. I haven't heard that argued.
That
so,
is like
okay.
going to go buy a new car and you get a high interest rate, and then you sue them
Right.
and say, I had poor credit and I was in a bad
Wow.
situation,
that
so they
happens
gave me
all
a
the
high
freaking
interest rate
time.
loan.
That happens all the time. That's exactly how it works out there and stuff. Like, you don't think that should happen.
You don't take
It
them to
shouldn't,
court
but
and
it
get a
does.
free car out of it. You don't say my credit sucked and I had high interest rates, so I
Look.
agreed to this loan
All
for
right.
high interest rates.
Texas Tech
and-
Red Raiders, they signed on to the settlement, and they're breaking all NIL rules too. They're not following their contract.
That's
These
not-
freaking
that
Red
isn't-
Raiders.
That
Oh,
isn't true
geez.
either. You're against anything. that
Texas
has-
Tech Red Raiders.
Somehow
still don't
Texas Tech plays into all this,
I
Nate. You
still-
weren't here
Texas
last
Tech.
week.
It's Texas
No,
Tech.
I've heard him. He's been on a diatribe about Texas Tech for 2 months. This is not new. I know exactly why he's upset with Texas Tech. I don't know why you think that they've broken all the NIL rules. For one, there's not a lot of NIL rules to break, and two, the rules aren't. Shall we say they're gray area at this point?
They're not gray
with,
area at all.
That with the
Anything
CSC
ideal
and
over
stuff, they are.
$600 goes for
No.
clearinghouse, not under the
No.
table when you're getting
No.
#1 recruits for multiple cycles. These guys,
Oh gosh.
oh my gosh, these guys are like, man, they're like the money laundering going down in Lubbock. I'm telling you guys, 100%, 100%. There's no other
Money
explanation.
laundering? Did you just say
Yes,
money laundering?
money laundering.
Wow. Okay.
I can't
The
wait
money
till
laundering because it's under the table. It's not reported. It's not disclosed. It's not legal based on the settlement laws.
I don't think
Lloyd's
any
gonna
of those
hammer
things
those
are
guys.
true. I don't think any of those things are true. Unreported. They are all being reported. Everything's being reported.
I can't wait till the Oliver Stone Texas Tech conspiracy movie.
I had
This
no idea
NIL
we were doing
payment
this
is
again
back
this
into the
week.
left.
All right. Let's move right along. Let's do shout outs. We're 15
Let's do it.
minutes
Yes,
into this thing.
yes.
Let's do that before we get going in any of these other party favors that we have. Let's see. Ryan Willie's first here. Good to see you, Ryan. Hi, College Football Mafia. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ryan gave 5 memberships on Wednesday night. Moen, he's owed a sounder, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, he said that I just can't delete the on Wisconsin one, but I think the other one has to stay as well.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here tonight. And thanks for being you were here last night too, and I really appreciate that as well. Tempest checking in. Another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family saying, well, we already know where curtain number 1, or
We are.
is that
I think
we
is what
are
he's trying to
curtain number
say.
1? Okay. And what's that in reference to? I don't know
That's
that.
probably reference to the thumbnail that is the Let's Make a Deal stage.
Okay. Curtain number
with
1. Okay.
Curtain number 1. There are no zonks.
Okay. All right. Everybody wins. Daniel
Everybody
Gygax in the house. Good to see you, Daniel. Thanks so much for everything you do for us. Hi, everyone. He says, Bob Swinger. Been in the last few weeks, been in every episode, and I really appreciate you, Bob. Representing Penn State Nittany Lions in the great state of Pennsylvania. Hey, College Football Mafia, good to see you here. Let's see, Movie Time Blues. Been a minute, Movie Time Blues. Great to see you here tonight on this Friday evening. Will Moen give us more juicy behind-the-scenes tidbits? Moen?
Yeah, let me get a little more liquored up first.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna get
I
some
want to
intel
have
here.
an excuse for it in case
Okay.
I accidentally say something I'm not supposed to.
You guys,
Okay.
Moan knows a lot of stuff. You all know that.
He
Just
either
get
knows
liquored
a
up.
lot of stuff or he doesn't know anything at all.
He
and
knows
he's
a
good
lot
at-
of stuff.
He's
Like,
good
yeah,
at
you just
playing
got to get him in the
poker.
right mood.
Morris Simmons checking in, representing the Florida State Seminoles. Hello, everyone. Go Noles. Good to see you here. Ricky Tungate, $20 super chat. First of all, thank you,
Woo!
Ricky. Appreciate you. $20 super chat. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate you. Ricky's also a renewed member, so he needs a sounder for that as well, Moen.
All right. Well, let's get some sounders in here. I know Ricky Tungay. He's an Indiana Hoosier fan, but he's got to appreciate this.
He is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay. All right, and one more.
Okay, let's do the. Oh, we haven't done this one.
They've been sucking you, and sucking
Yes.
you, and you're sick of it. I get it.
By the way,
Yes.
Ricky Tungate, he is talking about Indiana in that clip.
That's
Just
right.
let you know, Ricky. I appreciate your super chat, but Ute does not like milkers in the Big Ten. I love
This
the
is
Hoosiers.
true. That's
It's
true.
about Purdue.
That
Indiana
is
has
true,
surprisingly good ratings, guys. Like, I never knock on Indiana's Purdue and Northwestern.
Okay.
Let's
I
make
love
that
the
clear. The Big
Hoosiers.
Ten, the greatest milk suckers in the Big Ten are Rutgers, Purdue,
Maryland.
Northwestern.
Oh,
Maryland
gotta be
isn't
up
as
there.
bad. Like, is Rutgers Rutgers is like the luckiest school in the freaking all of the FBS getting in the Big
Yeah.
Ten conference. They have no
I would
business
probably have to
getting
agree
in.
with that. Yeah.
I love the
State
Hoosiers, Ricky.
sucks so much.
I love Bloomington. Don't listen to you.
Thank you so much,
doesn't know what
Ricky,
he's
for
talking
$20. We appreciate it. It helps us keep the lights on. Thank you. Friends call me Sean, checking in, saying, how's the hangovers, fellas? We good? It looks like
Moen
they're doing
doesn't get-
okay, Sean.
Moan doesn't get hangovers.
Oh, you
Jan Hulk checking in all the way from Slovenia. Yes, we are an international channel around these parts. We appreciate Jan, everything he does. I hope you're feeling well, Jan. It's great to see you, obviously. We know it's you're 8 hours or 7 hours ahead. So yeah, it's middle of the night. So we appreciate you being here with us this evening. Hey, y'all. Good to see you. Let's see. Jansen Roberts, another member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, thank goodness it's Friday. I love
Georgia
that.
Tech. Georgia Tech,
Tech.
baby.
Two Master checking in. It's great to see Two Master whenever he puts his head out. We appreciate Two Master joining the show. MBM, another valuable member. These are all OG members, by the way. They've been around with us for a long time. MBM, I go through a third of the bottle, then I dumped it down the drain because that was better than stomaching $3 of that stuff.
100%.
100%.
That is
listen,
cheap alcohol.
it is rot gut, low
That
end
is
fortified wine.
That is nasty stuff.
It's the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. And it gives you weird sweats, too. You didn't get those weird sweats, Moan?
No, I didn't. I got weird looks when I kept asking for MD 2020 everywhere I went looking for it.
That's nasty. Seansky checking in on a Friday evening. Good to see you, Seansky. What's up, guys? Good to have
What's
you
up?
here.
Hey,
D5 Terp. Sorry, it jumped on me. What just happened? I'm doing the countdown. I will get to this super chat, I promise. Well, let's do the super. Well, it just went away. So let me finish the countdown, and then I will get the next super chat up. D5 Terps, welcome, brother. Good to have you here. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks so much for everything you're doing for us. To Town Hawk as well, checking in for the Kansas Jayhawks. Everyone knows the cure to a Mad Dog hangover is booger sugar ute.
What?
I don't know. You guys are
What?
nasty stuff.
Listen.
I've never heard of booger sugar
That
at
is
all.
nasty.
Is that some
All
KU
this
stuff?
you
Like
guys.
some frat KU thing?
That would be something that was rather popular in the 80s at Miami. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I think that no, I don't think Mad Dog would actually pair well with that.
I've never heard that term.
It
I've heard
sounds
all
like
kinds of cocaine stuff, and I've not.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's referring to.
Yeah, I've never heard that before, so that's new.
Wow.
Miami coffee.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Lee checking in saying absolutely agree, Moen. So you got more people on your Mountain West side there, Moen. Looks like. I hope that makes you feel good. on a Friday. Our Graw called in last night. We had a good conversation. It was fantastic to talk to him. On one hand, I didn't like the pack. On the other hand, the Mountain West took a team away from Maction. We talked about Maction yesterday a little bit. Yeah, people are starting to get a little bit anxious about the future of Maction mowing.
Here's the thing. Northern Illinois had already left the MAC at one point and came crawling back. I think Northern Illinois will come crawling back to the MAC once again. Once they start looking at the travel expenses and everything that's involved with being a Mountain West team. So Maction, I think it's fine. I think the MAC should look towards expansion. Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, Marshall. Let's go MAC.
Okay.
Come on back.
All right.
Not so fast, my friend.
Go ahead,
so
Moan.
fast,
Are
my
you?
friend.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Moan, this is your Tarleton moment of the night right here, okay? Your realignment moment. I want to throw a realignment prediction down right here. Unsourced, I don't care about sourcing. Look, I do my database analysis, and everything's pointing to this. It smells like it. I'm predicting this. First one to ever say it right here. Another MAC team's going to go to the Mountain West Conference. That's going to be Toledo.
No, it's not.
Toledo. Yep.
Wow.
I'll put money on it.
Let's go. I'll bet you right here.
$100. $100.
Okay. $100.
Okay.
Chancellor Duffy is never going to let Toledo leave the MAC.
Why? Because they're
Wow.
making so much money in the MAC? Like Moan,
Because
it's like
the Ohio
the MAC's
Depart-
done, man.
the Ohio
done.
Department of Higher Education is not going to let any Ohio MAC team leave their fellow MAC brethren in the state of Ohio. The
Yeah,
Ohio
everybody
Department
else
of
can
Higher
leave.
Nobody's leaving. Ohio's
so
not leaving
sick.
for
Okay.
Conference USA. It's not happening. The MAC teams that are in Ohio will remain MAC teams.
We got $100 on this.
We
I'm
got a
telling you.
$100 bet.
We're gonna go a
it's
two-year
witnessed.
period, okay? 24
Okay.
months. We'll see if this manifests. I'm telling
I'll give you
man.
3 years.
Toledo, we'll go 3 years then.
I'll give you
Toledo's
3
going to the
years.
Mountain West Conference, man. It makes so much sense.
Wow.
They need them. Like all the data says yes, yes, yes. Northern Illinois needs somebody out there too. It's going to be a football-only ad. Toledo, Mountain West. If the Mountain West survives, we'll see. I could blow up the deal because the Mountain West might get eaten up here.
Yeah. Mountain West could cease to exist, and then the bet becomes null and void. So
No, it doesn't become null and void.
It
I
does.
win. I win in that. I
Oh,
win. I win.
Hey, normally
If the
it
Mountain
would
West goes
disappear.
down, Moan, I'll pay you out. Okay. I'll
Okay.
pay you out.
There you
go.
All right. I'll pay you
Okay.
out.
Daniel Gorby says, "Get him, Ute." I'm not sure he's talking about right this moment, but that was pretty apropos.
Hey.
OPD Don checking in, another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying, "I think Ute is still feeling the effects of Blur Raspberry MD," and he's laughing at you, Ute, or laughing
We'll
with
never be
you.
the same.
One or the other.
Same after
Never
that.
be the same again. Let's see. Airspace. I think you're new around here, Airspace. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Turn on those notifications so you know when our shows and our news and notes pop up and on social media, and try to make this return visit. We'd love to have you hang around and consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia family. And doing that, there's all kinds of, especially as we get closer to the season and then we get into the football season, we have a lot more member events that we will be doing. And so that's where those membership dues really can come clear. But if you're new around here, we have a whole back library, talking about anything you could possibly hope to talk about in college sports, anything you want to highlight, Ute.
We're going to be breaking down a lot of in-depth views here of the Big 12 realignment candidates. This Toledo Mountain West thing, guys. I mean, I've already done the numbers into that. It's a no-brainer. And so if I need to break that out stuff on the next Big Friday or something, I can show you exactly why that makes sense. I'm telling you, man, like it just makes too much sense.
Right.
And so I think that you can follow the numbers sometimes and realign. Look, I mean, like, yeah, that's part of the game here. It's not everything. The data is not everything. We know that. Our community knows that, but it's a huge portion of it. Things need to make sense before you start the ball rolling and stuff. And I'm just telling you guys, Northern Illinois goes to the Mountain West. It's around Toledo and the Mountain West. The Mountain West wanted Toledo before. There was some smoke around that about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. I'm telling you, It's going to heat up
Yeah.
again.
They did want them before, and they didn't get them. Because you may have the numbers, but I have the politics. I've lived in this state. I know the politics in this state. The Ohio Department of Higher Education, regardless of who the governor is not going to let a MAC school from Ohio abandon its fellow MAC schools. They're all tied together. They're all tied together. It is what it is. There's 5 or I believe 6 MAC schools in Ohio.
This is the argument every time someone gets realigned in Oklahoma, in Washington, in Oregon, in California. It's always the same thing. Oh, they're never going to you can't realign away from the other schools and stuff. And
that's one school or 2 school. This is 6 schools that are all tied together economically through the Ohio Department of Higher Education. It's not just like one school wants to leave. It's not like Oklahoma leaving Oklahoma State. It's Toledo leaving Kent State, Akron, Ohio, Miami, Bowling Green. That's 5 schools. That's it. It's 5 schools. They're all tied together.
The economic impact would be minimal. Okay.
All right. Let's move along. I was just gonna say, he is a Red Raider. Where did I just lost his comment? Disappeared. There it is. Go Red Raiders is Airspace. So I wanted to make sure I gave him his shout out because he put that in the comments. Lonnie BYU #1. Valuable member for 18 months of the College Football Mafia family. Let's give that brother a major sounder. I can think of a couple BYU ones you could pick.
That's
Woohoo! Let's do a cougar too. Throw in a cougar.
Together.
I've never heard that. There we go. Good afternoon from Northeast Kansas. Go BYU and the U of U. So always great to see you, Lonnie. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We have our next super chat, which would be from Peek Around the Corner, Greg Flugar. And he says Texas Tech will be the best 7-5 team in the nation that money can buy. Well, besides Nebraska. Did I just say that out loud? So he's ripping on Texas Tech 7-5.
Hey, listen, Texas Tech fans, Red Raiders, Big Red fans for Nebraska. I think Greg has just committed a homicide.
Oh my God.
There's a Law and Order sound effect right there. Dun, dun.
What is the homicide?
Clearly.
7-5.
Benson and Stabler got to get on that.
Holy
Man, we'll
cow.
have to. I can't see 7-5. They might only win 8, right? 8 or 9 is their history. So
Pull up your schedule, take a look, guys.
but in the Big 12 this year, they have to play BYU. Do they play Utah this year?
Yeah, it's they're at Utah the first.
So they do the Utah double. That if they can win both those games, they win 9 or 10 games.
Let's pull up their schedule, do a quick look, see guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Glenn Hanna checking in, saying yo. By the way, from that crazy duck out west, we appreciate you, Glenn. Thanks for being here tonight. Do you want to throw up the schedule really quick? There we go.
That's a huge prediction by Greg Flugar. A 7-5 Texas Tech prediction.
Yeah,
is
I don't.
insane. Like
I don't.
That is a bold take. Okay, here, let's take a look at Texas Tech. Okay, so game 1, UAPB, Golden Lions.
Who even knows what that is?
University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, I believe.
Okay,
so
they have a
program. We got 1-0. Kent State 1-0. Oregon State's going to Lubbock. That's a tougher game than you'd think, but I think that you're 3-0 going into at Utah. You guys agree with that?
I think you're 4-0 after that.
Oh, are you serious?
I don't know. I don't know that they can. That Utah game, it's tough to win in Rice Eccles. So
Utah's going to get it this time.
I think it's going to be that's a 50-50 game. We'll have to see how the first 3 weeks go.
So we'll say 3-1, worst case scenario, right? Like 3-1 off week. They've got at Houston off a bye. You think 4-1?
That's a win.
KU Yeah, there's
Where's
5
that
to
at?
1.
That's at Lubbock.
That's Lubbock. That's a win.
That,
Yeah, they're
I think
5 and 1.
I think that's going to be a tough matchup. Kansas, I'm going to give a 50-50.
Okay, well, that's fair.
I think maybe 55-45 for Texas Tech because it is in Lubbock.
Arizona State's at ASU, so
I think
let's
ASU
just
wins that
let's
game.
say ASU wins that
Yeah.
one. They beat
Sam
Oklahoma
Leavitt,
State.
I really like Sam Leavitt as a quarterback. I
I think
think I
he's
will
going to
have to
regress
give
this year.
Really, I don't know.
I do. I
I
think
think Nate's right.
I think he's going to regress.
I think I
All
like
right.
Arizona State in that matchup.
Yeah,
Oklahoma State, that's a win. I don't know
Agreed.
what's going on in Oklahoma, but that is a down program right now. Kansas State, I think that'll be a tough climb. So maybe we'll be conservative and say that's the second loss.
So if they lose to ASU, Utah, and then this is a third loss at K-State, possibly, right?
Yeah, maybe. BYU they've won in Lubbock before. BYU has, so I don't know. It depends. If BYU has a quarterback, look out. That's all I'm warning the entire country. That's all they need.
I'm just going to say this. Oklahoma State Cowboys. Gundy is a consistent coach. I don't think he has 2 bad seasons in a row.
I don't know.
I don't think he has 2 bad seasons in a row. I think Oklahoma State has a shot in that game.
Okay.
I hope so. I hope they rise. The Big 12 needs Oklahoma State to rise. It's the biggest brand of the Big 12 guys. Oklahoma State is.
The next 2 games, the only game I see them, either BYU gets them or they have to travel to Morgantown, and that's always a tough road trip. So
You got a bye week going into that, though. I mean, like,
yeah, that's
rested
the
for
only
Big
that
12
could be a
title.
saver for them. I don't see 7-5. I can't see 5
Yeah.
losses on that schedule.
It's like worst case to me is 8, and then best
That's
case
kind
is
of what
9.
I think. I think 10. If they can steal one of BYU or Utah, I think they can win 10 games.
Yeah, they're going to be in it. They're going to be in contention for the title.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Thank you, Greg. You definitely put it out there. Now it's out in the ether of the verse. I guarantee you, Texas Tech fans are going to burn you at the stake now for the next.
Take comfort, Texas Tech fans.
Preseason games.
Picked against you.
That's
So
true too.
You're probably going
cooler.
undefeated, and you're going to have a first-round bye in the playoff.
Ryan Willie, $5 super chat, saying ESPN's list of toughest schedules is plain propaganda, and it's all SEC teams. The SEC media days. I didn't bring that up at the open. Was there anything in SEC media days that mattered? Anything to you guys? There was the 30-team playoff shenanigans that came out of Missouri. Other than that, I didn't see anything productive that came out of SEC media days. Did you guys see anything at all?
Nothing of note.
Okay.
If there were 30, if there was a 30-team playoff, Missouri would be 31. So I'm not that concerned about it.
It has a bunch of play-in games. He's trying to bring. It was invented by Ike Drinkwater, or whatever his name is.
Drinkwitz. Just hey, man, worry about winning football games in the SEC.
That's kind of what I think too. Don't be coming up with new formats for the CFP.
Ryan Willie, anything you know this, Ryan? Anything coming out of ESPN is going to be propaganda. It's going to be favorable towards the contracts they have, which is the SEC and the ACC and part of the Big 12, but they don't treat Big 12 nearly as well as they should. So SEC, ACC, propaganda 24/7, ESPN.
Here we go.
I got to show this to Ryan Willie because he's going to like this guy. So
yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to eventually record a short here, but I got the thumbnail, Ryan. So there you go. That's what you get. I was laughing for like 5 minutes after I put that one together. So be ready for the 9-game scare for SEC here.
There we go. I love it.
Get ready for that, sucker.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Did you want to give Ryan a quick sound?
I did, and I've give him Ute's favorite.
All right, there you go. Joe Z checking in, another valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, saying the yam yam. I think we're still talking about cocaine at that point.
Yeah.
Cranky Tiger, could that possibly be a Clemson Tiger? I think it is. Good to have you here, Cranky Tiger. Thanks for joining the show. I think this might be your first time. If it's not, thank you for returning. If it is, make sure you subscribe and follow us all on Twitter and turn on those notifications. That way you know when we're going to be coming on our next shows. But we appreciate you being here. We're fans of Clemson around here. Not a lot of people have negative things to say about Clemson. So welcome to the channel. Wife's at the beach. I'm stuck at home with the dogs. Thanks for Friday fun night. There we go. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's try to finish out just a few more comments from people we haven't seen. C. John, 100 bones, 3-year witness.
Make it 4 years. I don't care.
Okay.
Lonnie,
Well,
it's
I
gonna
guarantee
be
you,
rough
people have
night.
long memories. They're not going to let you away on it. That's for sure. Lonnie, good a $5 super chat here from Lonnie as well. Good evening from Northeast Kansas. Go BYU and Utah and the Big 12. So he gave us a free comment for his 18 months, and then he gave us $5 super chat. That's really cool. Thank you so much, Lonnie.
Let him
He's a
cook.
Cougar. There we go.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said, let him cook.
Love it. And Lonnie again, another $5 super chat saying, "Don't take the wrong job." Is that a quote? Whose quote is that?
Scott Frost.
Is it Scott Frost? Is that his?
That is, yes, Scott Frost, because his failure at Nebraska had nothing to do with Scott Frost. Clearly, it couldn't have, guys. Scott Frost is innocent. There's just no resources at Nebraska. No resources.
No resources.
Oh my God.
Give him a cougar tail too, Mon, if you wouldn't mind. Give the man a cougar tail.
Yeah,
Okay,
that'd be great.
Find the cougar tail here. There you go.
There we go.
Cougar
Give
tail.
the man a cougar tail. Skaven, yes, checking in. Good to see you, Skaven. Yes. Hello, gentlemen. We appreciate you being here, man, on a Friday. Happy Friday evening. Greg the Gold. That's what he's saying. Penn State, we are Sports Talk. Welcome to the channel, guy. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. We are, he says. Moen, what is he?
He is.
Teams don't need private equity. All right. There's your cue right there, you. Teams don't need private equity. You've got your little show put together. Why don't you let's talk private equity for a minute.
Teams don't need private equity. How deep do we want to get into this?
You got 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, so I've got a full-on presentation that I'm going to not bring up. Okay, we could go there if anybody wants to, but here's the gist of it. If you're the Big Ten Conference and you're Penn State, you don't need private equity. In fact, I'd recommend you don't use private equity. You don't need it. You're making a ton of money as is. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. But if you're the Big 12 Conference, if you're the ACC Conference, if you're the Pac-12, if you're the American Conference, you better freaking get private equity so you can try to bridge the gap and make more competitive teams, especially in this new world where we have the clearinghouse looking at external NIL. Like it or not, that's an existing thing. You're combating that too, and it's against the rules if you're going under the table NIL, which was a huge advantage to bridge the gap. And so if that's off the table, you need private equity to lift your athletic departments. You need private equity to get more sponsorship deals. You need to change the freaking name to the All-State 12, Big 12, All-State 12, All-State 12, All-State 12. It's such an easy thing. Just change it. There's not that much brand equity in the Big 12 name. Go to All-State 12. For goodness sake, pay everybody $10 million more. You need more money. You are at a huge disadvantage financially. You get paid 1/3 of the amount of the Big Ten and the SEC. So you need to bridge that somehow. And private equity is the way to do it in the short term, in the intermediate term, in the long term. The caveat to all of this, though, can you get all the teams to buy off? Are you willing to sign a blood oath to a private equity company in addition to a Gore to say, we're going to stick this thing out, we're not going anywhere, and we're going to build this beast, the ship, to be greater than anybody ever expected before? That is the question. It's a no-brainer decision, though, private equity for the Big 12. Even the ACC, if they could ever get their ducks in a row and agree on anything, you do it. But if you're the Big Ten and the SEC, look, you're already swimming in money. But you don't really need it. It's nice, but you don't need to have it. But the Big 12, you need it to compete. And so it's a survival thing right here we're talking with Big 12 Conference.
Moen?
Yeah, we're swimming in money, but we could always use like a money water slide or a money waterfall. You can never have enough money. You should know this. You're a financial guy. You can never have enough money. So of course the Big Ten and the SEC are going to look towards private equity. The rich want to get richer. Call it greed. As the original saying was from Gordon Gekko, for lack of a better term, greed is good.
Very good. And I will say this. I've got and I'll let you talk again. I just wanted to post this link. There was a fantastic article today and a set of tweets put out by Nick Lord. He actually is, I want to make sure I don't give him the wrong title. He is the co-founder and CEO of a private equity monitoring company. That's all he does, is monitor and stays on top of what private equities are. It was fantastic. It was very educational, and we're educated already around here on private equity, and it's still educational for us. I would encourage everybody, if you have a second, go to that link after the show, and he really breaks it down, makes it very simple to consume and understand. But Ute has done like at least 4 private equity shows that go into fantastic detail on how it applies to the current college football landscape. Do you want to add any more to that, Ute?
Yeah, we can go over absolutely. So there's a couple ways of using private equity, guys, and you're looking here to. We won't spend a lot of time on this. We'll cover this real quick and everything. There's a traditional way where you basically let a private equity firm buy into your conference. They own a chunk of the Big 12. That's usually how private equity works outside of just college football. That's the first idea. If you hear the name CVC Capital Partners, that's the idea they pitched, with the Big 12 to buy 20% of it for $1 billion. And this was back, in 2024, Dennis Dodd article that came out. So that is structure number one that we've talked about. Then the hybrid structure. This is the recommended from Wild Ute right here, do a hybrid structure. This is the RedBird structure, where you have revenue streams, picture 5 of them, and then you actually split a new revenue stream with a private equity company. So here's an example. Say that they're trying to get some gambling into your conference stuff. They want better information to give to Vegas or whatever, and they want gambling data. They want more information. They want quicker information from the conference. If private equity helped to create a new revenue arm for gambling data, then the private equity company in the Big 12 would just split the profits from that one revenue stream. Just the revenue stream, not the whole conference. It's a hybrid structure. It's a individual revenue stream structure. A lot of the private equity firms that want to get into college football at an individual basis, for like Florida State, for Boise State, all these different schools, it would look like this. But that's what the Big 12 has been talking about. If the Big 12 did a deal with Allstate, it would look like that too, where a private equity firm would negotiate the deal for better terms. Then you'd split the money after that Allstate 12 agreement with private equity and the Big 12 conference. And that's how it works. So it's a hybrid structure, private equity. We've talked about that before, but that's what you're going to see in the future.
Very good. I like that idea of just taxing, or not taxing, but just doing the private equity only with the profit, not even getting into any of the debt structure, just dealing with future profits, and then the all the deals that are associated with the conference. It's not near as constricting, and I think you could easier see schools who maybe are on a tweener on private equity sign on to something more like that, because if they're leaving, they're doing it for better money anyway. So having a little bit of that tied up in the Big 12, I don't think would kill them. So, are you going to do a members only video on that?
I actually did a members only video, so we've got a video out there that was months ago and everything. So you can go check that out. But we'll always talk about on this channel and stuff. Know a lot about this industry. It's the industry that I quasi work in. So we'll keep talking about it.
Excellent. Greg says Missouri will be very good this year. QB Pribula and running back Ahmed Hardy is a great backfield. They were decent last year. They weren't top 25 good, but That's where they hovered all year. Steve Moser, Coldplay couple meme with SEC teams canoodling with FCS teams in mid-November. Boy, that was something else, wasn't it? Way to lose way to become a lifetime meme. For the rest of your life, you're now a meme of what cheating on your partner's like.
Yeah, but I mean, bummer. Let's be fair. Anybody who goes to a Coldplay concert really deserves to be a meme for the rest of their lives, whether he cheated on his spouse or not. The fact that he attended a Coldplay concert should be
okay. I like Coldplay.
Moan.
I like Coldplay. I like Coldplay. Anyway, that was something else. If you haven't seen it, just Google it. It'll pop up. It'll be the very first thing in your feed, I promise. John Nelson. John's been around before, but we appreciate you coming back again, John. Make sure you subscribe, follow us all on Twitter, and we appreciate you being here tonight with us. I just showed up. Somebody quick, give me a detailed rundown of all that's been discussed so far. The detail is we haven't really discussed much, so you didn't miss anything for the most part, John. Appreciate you being here tonight, though. We really appreciate seeing you. 2 more, and then I've got 15 minutes, and I got to go. Devil Frog, is Utah willing to sign off on private equity Ute? That is the question.
So. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Utah's going to need the money.
Utah needs the money, but I just don't. Guys, I'll be honest. I don't think Utah's willing to double commit to the Big 12.
Yeah,
I got to be honest with you guys. I'd be lying if I told you, Utah will sign off. The Utah might sign off, but everything I know about the administration and everything is that there's still hard feelings about the Big 12 conference.
Go Black 45. He knows I love him. Bug can move their FCS game to November just to see how it feels. Bug? What is that? Bug. Do you guys not know? I don't know what that is. Go Black. Can you clarify that in the comments? Happy to come back to it if you'll.
I think he probably means big can move their FCS.
Oh, the big.
Oh, okay. That way they're both in November. Yeah, I've wondered that for a long time. Why don't all the conferences put an FCS game? Take it out of the beginning of the year when your team's fresher and add one at the end of the year. Why don't they do that? I've never understood it.
Why even play a game? Just play 11 football games.
Okay. I think conceivably the reason is because you need the money, but if your gate receipts don't supersede what you're going to pay Moorhead State to show up and get trounced, I don't know why you're paying these TV-only games.
I would recommend the SEC just drop the game completely and just go to 11.
Listen, I think the SEC should just drop all games and get 6 teams in the playoff because that's what the SEC believes anyway. So might as well do it. Why even play the games at this point?
Lee says, I have never heard of Coldplay before yesterday. That's funny.
Have you been living in a closet, Lee? You've got to hold it. Come on.
And Go Black 45 is making fun of Ute and I. Of course, the 2 Utah teams would like Coldplay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what Coldplay is from England. It's not like there's some
Coldplay's got good
band
songs.
that's been kicking around forever. Give me a break. Anyway, appreciate everybody's shout outs. Thanks for being here tonight. We will be going roughly another hour. I do only have about 10 more minutes. The one thing I wanted to cover before I left was to circle back on where you guys think we are with the CSC and NIL. I did a whole call-in show on it yesterday. In fact, all my shows the last several weeks have had some NIL CSC component. The guidance, we didn't get to talk about it because you guys did the Friday show and I wasn't there. The guidance that came last Thursday on what is for profit and what's that FPV or whatever that other value they've invented them and fair market and all these things. I want to get your thoughts on this because to me, I just do not see that the CSC is going to be around long as it's currently constructed.
Go ahead, Moan. Jump in on this one.
Listen, it's part of the settlement. They've got to make it work. Got to make it work. Got to come up with something. Despite what you says, Texas Tech has not done anything to violate the CSC as of yet. We would know about
Really?
it.
Really?
They everything is submitted through them. If they get caught doing something illegal,
Well, it just gets denied the first time. It just gets sent
right,
back. It doesn't
gets
get denied. It's
it's
not
sent
illegal.
back. Right. We have to come up with some definitions of what a commercial enterprise is. I agree with that. I think there needs to be a clear definition of what commercial enterprise is, because obviously collectives are going to be paying $250,000 for one autograph signing. But yeah, fair market value. There's needs to be more definition, I think, placed into the CSC. But overall, it's part of the settlement. It's part that everybody agreed on. So I think that it's here to stay. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to eventually get its feet under it, and we're going to see actual penalties put forth if someone tries to circumvent it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not a joke at all. It's not going anywhere. And if it does go anywhere, we might lose our sport. That's how serious this is, guys. Like, it's the difference between having football and not. Like, so really, how much are you willing to go down that path, in my view? You want to push it that much and stuff, you want to sue into oblivion, then we might not have college football. If it's so expensive to get out of this for back lawsuits and stuff, then let's just blow the sport up so we can give unlimited NIL. That's how I see it. I think it's pretty clear on that. Like, I don't think it's hard to follow the guidelines too. I think that it's pretty dang black and white. Collectives, they're not monetizing anything. Like,
Well,
that's not market value.
I know that's not true.
What? Yeah. Well, how are they monetizing? Please tell me.
I'll tell you right now. KuConnect sells subs. They sell subscriptions.
Okay.
They sell insider reports. They sell products. They have their own clothing lines. They sell services. So it's a whole bunch of stuff they sell.
How much do you reckon they make in sales per year? KuConnect. We're gonna press.
Well, KuConnect is not. They're not near what the Royal Blue Collective is.
Okay, Royal Blue Collective. How much do you think they make in sales per year off all the things you mentioned? Like, I'm serious. We're gonna go down this path that'll illustrate you exactly what's going on here.
Royal Blue Collective is specifically put together to take all of the commercial entities that these athletes can do. AJ DeBance has done this, and get contracts with places like the Tops credit card, or basketball cards, for instance, or selling their service. They'll take and collect their NIL rights and turn around and sell them to advertisers, and they do pretty well at it. So there's nothing to say if somebody's willing to pay to have somebody go out, and and they haven't had any denied yet. Any of their deals, all their deals have gone through from everything I looked into it. They are able to pool those NIL rights and turn around and sell them in advertising world. And they make quite a bit of money doing it. So, and there's nothing in the original guidance that said that was not a valid business purpose. They're trying to look back and change it the next week. Things only 2 weeks old, by the way, a little over 2 weeks old. And they're now trying to change what the original guidance was. What they negotiated is not what it's currently sitting now. The original deal is not currently what is in process. So you could question whether that's okay to do or not okay to do, but lawsuits are going to come if they can't settle it, as Moen says. So that is the valid business purpose.
For corporate entities, for large companies, usually you spend in expenses per year, like roughly 2 to 5% of your total sales in advertising related. And trying to get money from advertising, right? And so if you apply any type of like applicable thinking at any company level and stuff, and you say, hey, if I'm trying to advertise and grow my business based on these NIL deals for them to go sign autographs, to do a commercial here, it's just not like exchange of value. It's not realistic. It's so
well, in your
inflated,
opinion, when was
it's not
the
an
last
opinion. That's just like that's clear as day.
No, wait a second. Have you actually had paper in front of you of an athlete's contract to know what they get paid?
I mean, I think that is pretty commonplace.
No,
We've heard
I'm
of-
asking specifically this.
I'm not-
You wanted to dive into
24/7
this.
reports
Have
over $1
you
million
had it?
all the time.
Okay.
Like,
I'm asking
don't
about
lie
an
about this.
athlete.
Just be
I'm
honest
asking
about this. This is bullcrap.
You,
This
you're
is
cutting
not
me
fair
off.
market
Let
value.
me finish. Let me finish. Have you had an employee, an athlete's
I
contract
don't run
in front of you?
I don't run a collective. No.
So
I don't
there's
run
no way you would have any idea how much
so
their
these Ku Klux must be making a
advertising
lot of
was worth.
revenue here. $1 billion in revenue. That's unrealistic.
not-
It's bullcrap, Nate.
No, it isn't
Bullcrap.
bullcrap. You are taking and conflating regular business with sports franchises and athletes.
What is name,
Advertising
image,
rights.
likeness? Is it pay for play or is it name, image, likeness
It's
based
name,
on
image, likeness.
your branding?
What I just
Your
defined was name,
branding,
image,
not your
likeness.
pay for play.
No, what
It's
I
not
just,
that
what
hard.
I-
This is simple and stuff. I know it's not to BYU's advantage. but you
Stop
got, this
it.
is simple.
Okay, you are taking what I'm saying and turning it to meet your narrative. Listen to what the words I'm saying. Name, image, likeness is advertising. Essentially, it's anything you could do for a person to sell their virtual self out in the world. It's not
Okay.
anything that they put their hands to.
Yes.
That value is tied to advertising. It's tied to deals that also usually don't have things you can put your hands on. They're not out doing plumbing for people. They're doing advertising to go and do these products and deals. So
You're paying
unless
to
you're
make
unless
tables.
you deal in athlete contracts, I do not know how you can take a leap and make one swipe and say that everything that has to do with these deals could possibly be wrong just because they're tied to name, image, and likeness.
You want evidence? The clearinghouse has rejected 70% of deals.
That's
There's
actually
your,
not
there's
true.
your evidence, Nate.
90% they've accepted.
90%. Those are all bump crap deals.
They're
They're not fair market value.
But
Exactly what I'm saying.
they've been accepted. What, they might not be fair market, but they're accepting them. They've
Yeah,
only
once they can
denied
negotiate it down to
10%.
$400 because that's how much it's worth.
You just, for one thing, you just said 70% were denied, and I told you that's not true. 90
Okay,
have been
great.
accepted. 10% have been denied, and
90,
those were
you're
shipped back.
bringing my point home. Do you understand that? 90% because they're all bull crap, inducement, pay for play crap, and that's not allowed anymore. That's used to be allowed. Doesn't not allowed
not
anymore.
denied, accepted. Accepted.
Like, you're not changing your view on this. I'm not changing mine. This conversation's done. Like, there's no point in even going more. Like, there's just, to me, it's so dang clear. It's amazing that people can't see it.
You said 70% were denied. I just told you that's not true.
Great, 90%. Thank you for illustrating my point.
I said 90% were accepted. Accepted.
Yeah, right.
Look it up. You look it up right now. 90% have been accepted, and 10% have been shipped back and haven't had a final determination put on them.
That is not anything that I've heard. Like, please pull that up. Let's corroborate that right now if you want to pull that up, or else we can move on. But we all know what's really going on here. It's pay for play, guys. You know it.
Unfortunately, it isn't. And at the end of the day, either your school's going to be able to step up and step into those shoes, and they're not going to be able to play.
No, it's not true. Actually,
it is true. That is
right
true.
Now, that's exactly what's going on. That's what this conversation is about. That is the old way. That's not the life anymore. That is not life anymore.
Okay.
If
you had stayed up on the Consigliaries channel, we've talked about this ad nauseum. We've talked about
how a bunch of NIL lawyers that have a serious bias. So, like, of course they're going to say that.
But the CSC, they don't work for the CSC. When they say that 90% have been accepted, that's a stat. No, I don't have it up in front of me. I didn't know I was going to be doing this tonight. But it's not a number.
You're pressing into it. So if you want to corroborate, press it. Let's go look at it.
All right, next Friday, guys. Bring your numbers. Bring your stats.
That's how I feel about freaking inducement. Goodbye.
Bring everybody. Bring their receipts next Friday. We will.
Let me ask you this: what are you going to do if I'm right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what are you going to do if you're right?
I'll take the loss and I'll say, "Good job, great."
No, he has to.
I don't think that's what you're going to do at all. I think you're going to be very upset about it because it still doesn't fit a narrative that says if you're not in the pool, you're out of the pool. I know you're saying that this second. I will have to see if that actually ends up being true.
As mediator, whoever is right will have to say the slogan of their opposing school. So
I
I
don't
don't-
even know. Does BYU have a slogan? Does Utah have a slogan?
I don't know.
don't
He'll
know.
have to say "Go BYU" or "Go
How?
Cougars."
Let's see.
And if Utes right, he'll have to say "Go Utes." So I'll resolve this. So as mediator, I'm stepping in. Gentlemen, bring your evidence next Friday and present it before the court, and I'll make the judgment on it because I am not involved in this at all.
And isn't that nice?
This is and
Isn't that nice?
Go Black 45. I mean, yeah, this MBM says this argument has undertones of holy war, and I agree. And I am not involved in the holy war. I'm involved in the toughest rivalry in the sport, Ohio State, Michigan. So I would gladly look at both gentlemen's evidence. And once we look at that evidence, I would rule and make a decision. I might have to order a judicial wig to put on and a robe.
Yeah, I think you should have one of those anyway, Moen. Actually, you lying. I think you have one of those in your closet already. I'm pretty sure.
Judicial robes and everything
I
else.
think that's where you're going to end up.
And I'll resolve it. We'll resolve it.
We got it.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
That's a ruling.
I will come to the table with
you will both approach the bench next Friday.
And make make the NIL arguments to and for the CSU.
I know this. It's not going to go away. The problem's not going to be fixed by next Friday.
It's not going away.
It probably won't, but I will let you guys make your arguments before me. I will make a decision. We'll let chat make a decision. We'll put a poll in the chat.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to go into this tonight. Otherwise, I would have had data in front of me. But I'm happy to do research on to see how many have been accepted and rejected and how many have been sent back for further appeal. But that's what they are. They get reworked, just so everybody does know. They either come and they're immediately approved, or they're sent back, and then people have to they have to rejigger them, rework the numbers, or come up with some other way to justify the payout, or come up with a different way to come up with the money. But that, yeah, okay, I'll do that. That sounds good. I do have to go, unfortunately. I didn't want to leave on a note like that, but I appreciate you guys being here on Friday with me. It's good to see you again. I missed you for 2 weeks.
Well, it was a good time.
Well, yeah,
looking forward to next Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always.
This argument was great. I enjoyed it very much.
I'm sure everybody else did too. Okay. I had 2 programming notes. Next week, I think Tuesday is what decided. Jeff Fuller and I are going to do a show. I believe he wants to do it on the college football playoff format. He's a 5'11" guy, and I'm just not there. So we're going to do that. I think we're going to do that Tuesday night, but that's programming note. Look for that one. And then I still have a consigliere. No, wait. I'll even drop that. Bob Thompson's supposed to be committing to me. So by the end of the month, I'm supposed to have Bob in studio. So hopefully we'll be able to get him on, and we're going to talk not only about the ACC, but we'll talk Pac-12 and Mountain West Conference.
Absolutely. That should be a powder keg, that Bob Thompson interview.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him. He's avoiding me, I think. I think he's trying to stay out.
Probably doing something big.
He might be. He might be doing work on the side. It's true. I appreciate both of you. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend. Spend time with your families. And we will talk next week, okay?
All right, sounds good. Take care.
Okay, see you later. Peace, everybody.
Take it easy, Bomber. Thanks for stopping in tonight.
Yeah.
Just me and you now. And I'm moving myself to position 1 because, God damn, I deserve it. By the way, we're going to go ahead and end the X feed. I know Bomber likes to keep that X feed live, but if you're viewing us on X or Twitter, consider coming on over to YouTube at the CFB Mafia. Check us out on YouTube. If you're new to us and you're watching us on Twitter, check us out, become a subscriber, give us a like, give us a dislike, leave us a comment, engage with our chat here. We've got a very feisty and engaged chat here on YouTube. Definitely something you should check out. But if you did not do so, good night, everybody. On Twitter.
Moan, you know what time it is?
I know what time it is. Tarleton time. Now, see, I like Tarleton no filters. And that's just me. Look, trust me, I'm a cancer survivor, people. I know this. Tarleton no filters. That gets the nicotine straight to your bloodstream faster than anything. I like the Tarleton no filters. I'm a big fan of them. Of course, Tarletons are illegal in, I think, every state east of the Mississippi. So Ute has managed to get some out there in Utah. But yeah, tune in next Friday, guys.
Hey, Mon, do you know? I got to tell you something, okay?
Yeah.
Do you know this is the only box of Tarleton that exists in the world?
That's not true.
Mon, this is the only box of Tarleton that exists in the world. It is.
That's simply not true. You come on, you know better. Tarletons are widely available on the black market. Tarletons are widely available, but all right. So we've talked about this. Next week, you and the other guy, Nate. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. You and Nate are going to put forth your arguments for the Deloitte Clearinghouse,
Yes.
how it works, how it doesn't work. There is definitely MBM is right, as he often is, that there is some Ute versus what do you call them? Zoots?
Zoobs?
Zoobs. Okay, it's
Yeah,
Ute
it's
versus Zoobs undercurrent here in this argument about the Deloitte Clearinghouse.
Yes, there is.
Completely understandable. Based off of, the things that have happened this offseason, benefiting the BYU Cougars. Bob Swanger says, "Wow, you used to be the good guy when I first started watching his channel."
I started smoking Tarletons.
They stay at that. Yeah, he started smoking them Tarletons. Went down that.
Tarletons change, yeah.
Went down that dead end
gosh.
street. D5 Terps, good to see you, Terps. Mad Ute 2020. Tempest says Ute's making up stuff now.
I think that he was referring to the Texas Tech theories. I'm not going to roll into the Texas Tech theories. I think that last segment basically kind of summed up exactly how I think Texas Tech's recruiting right now. So leave it at that.
Friends Call Me Sean says the Texas Tech money man in the grassy knoll. It's true. It's true. D5 Terp says Ute has no street cred. LOL.
None. Worse than none. But I've got a Tarleton.
Yeah.
That is good enough.
Ute never claimed to be from the streets.
Mm-mm.
Moen, you're correct about Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech goes 11-1. I think they lose a close game at Utah. I'm more concerned about that game with Oklahoma State. And look, I know I'm going to catch shit on it. Everybody's telling me that Oklahoma State's going to be terrible this year. I think they bounce back. I think Gundy has a big year. I don't know.
I think the Big 12 needs Oklahoma State to bounce back. Oklahoma State is a primo brand in the Big 12. They're a beloved brand, and Big 12 needs them. So hoping that's true.
Big 12 needs more than anything to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
They absolutely have to win a playoff game this season. We're looking at a 12-team playoff. The Big Ten has made it clear they're not backing off. the AQs. We're at a standstill basically, so we're going to go to a 12-team playoff this year. Big 12, you got to win a game. You've got to win a game. ACC is in the same boat. ACC, you've got to win a game. You got to win a playoff game. It's and you might say it's a small sample size. It's unfair to judge us off of 1 or 2 seasons, but guess what? Life ain't fair. Jack Matheson says New Pack deserves to own the All-State Conference branding.
All-State 12 sounds good. I think the Big 12 should take that. It's easy money. It's a lot of money. Like, you basically jump over ACC with doing just that deal by itself. But can you get the private capital partner? It goes back to Devil Frogs question of like, hey, are all the schools in? Are all the schools in? And that is a gray, murky area. Perhaps, maybe not, and stuff. Like, it's difficult.
Steve Moser, Kansas Jayhawk fan, says getting unlimited money sounds good until you're Luigi'd on the sidewalk and your story is over a couple of decades old early. Give me the unlimited money, Steve. At this point, give me the unlimited money. I'll die a little early if I've got the unlimited money. Vox Quindaro says Coldplay, a lot of womanly energy. Vox.
No.
Vox. Absolutely right.
Womanly energy.
Again, Coldplay, not a good band. I know that you and Nate like them. My ex-girlfriend liked them too, but it's just not a good band.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought like everybody loved Coldplay. First time like I've ever
everybody
heard
in
people just
Utah
like
loves Coldplay. Everybody in Utah loves Coldplay. The rest of us realize that they're terrible, and that guy had a kid with Gwyneth Paltrow and named it Apple. Come on. Steel Austin, biggest question for 2025: can Texas Tech squeak out 7 wins this year after investing $40 million into their roster? Go Red Raiders. Greg and I had a talk this week about this. Greg's question is the quarterback at Texas Tech.
Right.
My question is the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that coach has the ability to get that team where they should be. You're right about the money they're investing. They've got the most expensive roster this year, from everything I've seen. There's no reason they cannot, or there's no reason they should not exceed expectations. Not just meet them, but exceed them. But
yeah, you've got a senior quarterback. Barrett Morton is a senior. Like, he's had injury problems before, but he's a solid player. Texas Tech has all the makings of a school that can make a run and win a lot of games. It's a very experienced roster, talented roster. Biggest question, just like you mentioned, Moan, is Coach McGuire.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't trust that he's going to get them over the top. Is Joey going to do it? Who knows? Like, is Barrett Morton going to stay healthy? That is a huge question mark. He doesn't really have a lot of running ability either. He's more of like your Texas Tech passer, right? So, like, is that going to limit Texas Tech in the biggest moments and stuff? Can he win with his legs? There's a lot of questions there, but Texas Tech's going to be in my top 3 for the Big 12. 100%.
Yeah, no doubt. My top 3, I've got Arizona State, Texas Tech, and Iowa State. But, and this is a question I put to Greg. I said, well, when you look at it, the guy who lost the Kansas State starting job ended up winning the national championship last year. So I don't put too much weight on the quarterback as I do the coach. Because you look at what Ryan Day did, he lost at Oregon, close game, 1-point game, but then lost as a 21-point favorite against their rivals at home and went on to win a national championship. I don't know that Joey McGuire is the kind of coach that can do that. If Texas Tech loses a game that they're heavily favored in, I don't know that Joey McGuire is the guy who can get that team coached up and almost feed off of it. You know what I mean? Pound that into them. I just don't know that Joey McGuire is a good enough motivator.
I agree with all that. And here's a big caveat with Tech too. There's a lot of pressure on the Red Raiders to get it done this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, like we talked about, like it or not and stuff, like this clearinghouse exists today. That is a huge issue for Texas Tech. Like they can get creative with rev share and everything like they have supposedly, but like not having the ability to throw triple the bags, like it's been reported, paying 30% more for a player has been reported by On3 this week. That's a huge disadvantage, not being able to really use all NIL resources. So this is the school and this is the team this year that you loaded up this roster based on what you could do legally in the last round before the clearinghouse. So there's pressure associated with that. Can they deal with that pressure? If they lose a game, is that going to crumble on them? Because I can tell you last year and stuff, there was a lot of pressure on that U team. Utah was the favorites to win the Big 12 last year. Rising had his injury and stuff, but even before that, the pressure was pretty great just to get it done and everything. And when sometimes it cracks, I mean, it gets bad. And because Texas Tech is like 8-4 is just not good enough. You 8-4, there's going to be issues. You got to get to a Big 12 championship at least for any vestige of success.
8-4, you got to fire Joey. You got to fire McGuire. You have to. You have to. And at that point, bring in a coach who you think can win. Now, we heard earlier this week that Nick Saban might be interested in a return to coaching. From I believe Greg McElroy was the first one to say that. I don't know if that's true or not, but obviously, coach's salary doesn't actually figure into NIL or any of that stuff with Deloitte. So you could potentially go out there and pay for the best college coach. At the end, if Texas Tech falters, you could go pay Nick Saban $25 million a year to go coach for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. But, I mean, my question for Texas Tech is the coach. I just don't know that he's the right coach. I don't know that he's the right coach.
He's not the right coach. If you had a better coach, you'd feel a lot better going into the season. And can he get it done still? Maybe, but he's just not the best guy. The Texas Tech.
He's unproven. He's unproven. And the same thing was said about Ryan Day last year. I mean, he was unproven as well, but he came off of that Michigan loss and ran off a string of impressive wins. I mean, dominating Tennessee, dominating Oregon, again, playing Texas tough. Notre Dame made a little comeback in that game, but I don't think Ohio State was ever out of the driver's seat in it. So we'll see. Ryan Willie says Coldplay at Camp Randall tomorrow. Got to raise money for the athletic department.
So it turns out the Big Ten does like Coldplay, at least up in Madison.
Well, I don't know who's going to be there, Ryan. I know you probably won't, but let me see.
Give him the Badger. Come on,
Moan. Internet money.
The internet makes lots of money, so give us some of that money. Yeah, give us internet money.
Ryan admitted he will not be there. Thank you, Ryan. I just want to say, if anybody else would feel like contributing to the cause here at the College Football Mafia Network, as I say that with a hiccup, click the little cash icon at the bottom of the chat window, and you can give a super chat, and I'll try to read it without hiccups. Or you can become a member or gift a membership. All those things are appreciated. Thank you, Ryan Willie.
Hey, Mon, so you mentioned that you're going to give us some juicy intel on some memes here. So
I said when I get drunk enough. I'm not drunk enough to reveal it.
What have you got in that head, Mon? I know you've got the information that we seek.
I do. I've got some stuff from SEC Media Days. But I just got to mix another cocktail real quick.
Got to do what you got to do. My thoughts too, like going back to like the namesake of this, like really the SEC and the Big Ten, like for private equity, like it's nice, but it's not unnecessary, right? Like private equity can deepen the relationships and everything for the future. It could be an advantage, but do the schools want to give up a portion of the conference or split a revenue stream for the future? It's a little bit more, I think there's a little bit more risk for the SEC and the Big Ten on doing a private equity deal because things have just moved so good for them. And they're at such a big financial advantage that I just don't see the upside as great as for the Big 12. What do you think about that?
I don't disagree with that at all. We're in agreement. Daniel Gorby with the $5 super chat says, "Go Noles, play the war chant." I am sorry, Daniel. It was on my list of things to add this week. It did not get added. Fucking shitty week, dude. I'm sorry. But I'll play something for you. I promise. Here, we'll do little Butters Pimp.
Do you know what I am saying?
And we'll do little Butters Bad Man.
I'm a bad man. You hear me?
Thank you for the super chat, Daniel. I promise I will get it on my to-do list this week. Like I said, just a terrible week. But thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Ryan Willie, for your super chat as well.
You know, if you're the Knowles sitting here and stuff, like I think of Florida State quite often, actually. Like you're this massive brand and everything. You deserve good realignment based on your brand size and everything else. Like what are you thinking right now? Like the SEC and the Big Ten are like snubbing you publicly, it feels like. At least like you've got to be upset about how things are kind of moving when you deserve to be in one of those top two conferences. Like, how long can you wait it out? Like, it's got to be a frustrating thing over the last.
A lot of it isn't even Florida State's fault. It's stuff that Florida State has no control over. It's the state politics of Florida. We've talked about it. It rubs people the wrong way in the SEC and the Big Ten. It's not just the Big Ten. They did not like that the University of Florida had made their decision on who the president was supposed to be, and they stepped in and stopped it. That upset people in both conferences, and that's not Florida State's fault. Florida State has no control over that. Florida State didn't do that, but because Florida State's a public school within the state of Florida, it alienated some people that the state of Florida actually, for me, from my point of view, it's a government overreach. They didn't need to do that. The Board of Trustees of the University of Florida had decided that Santa Ono was their man. It should have been respected. The fact that the Board of Governors of the state of Florida got involved, it upsets some people in the Big Ten. It upset people in the SEC. Again, these are things that Florida State can't control, really. I mean, you're kind of just thrown into a storm that you have no control over. What are you supposed to do? I mean, how do you correct that?
Like, do you really realign based on like the political situation at the moment?
Yes, you do.
It's supposed to be a 100-year decision. You don't make 100-year decisions based on what's going on in the present moment.
No, but they don't. You have to understand. Okay, but you have to understand. These university presidents don't want a state government coming in and telling them how to run their universities. They don't. The University of Florida had made the decision on Santa Ono. The University of Florida Board of Trustees had unanimously approved Santa Ono. And then the state of Florida came in and said no. We were talking about Toledo leaving for the Mountain West earlier.
Right.
Toledo could receive a cash offer tomorrow that is significantly better than the MAC. The Ohio Department of Higher Education, Chancellor Duffy, the Board of Governors could come in and say no.
Like, is that for the good of the system or the school, though? It doesn't make any sense why you make that decision. It's not.
For
Like,
for
it's
the
financially not.
well, and for the MAC schools, it makes sense because they don't want to lose any more schools from the MAC.
But if you're
You
already
wanna put-
5 teams concentrated in the state, like really losing one of
Right.
those brands isn't
You
going to impact
lose-
the MAC that much.
I exactly hear what you're saying, but you lose one, and then you lose two, and then you lose three, and then you lose four, then you lose five.
It's like
a
the opposite
domino
of the
effect.
golden hand. Like, this isn't the golden handcuffs. This is like the shackled handcuffs. They're not making any money and they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to understand there's 6 MAC teams in the state of Ohio, and they're all public institutions, so you've got to protect them. But I mean, going back to Florida State, that is a lot of what is holding Florida State back. Clemson and Florida State are viewed very differently. They're viewed very differently by both conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten. And, there's things that Florida State, there's a lot of stuff they can control, and they've done a good job of it. They're building more onto their airport. They're trying to revitalize the infrastructure there in Tallahassee. They're trying to increase their research. They're getting involved with a hospital system in Tallahassee. There's a lot of stuff they can do, but the politics, it's playing a part in hindering Florida State. Now, I'm not going to say that that's the only thing that's stopping Florida State. It's not. There's other things, the bad partner argument, everything. But politics plays a part, man. And I agree. It's stupid. It shouldn't play a part. But for the Big Ten and the SEC, they don't want the presidents of these universities don't want the state getting involved in their business. Vox Quindaro, if you didn't like the deal, Utah, you shouldn't have taken the deal. Be mad at yourself, not the Big 12. What deal? Yeah, I'm going to have to defend Utah here. What deal could they have taken? Go independent? Partner up with Oregon State and Washington State and do that Mountain West deal for the Big 12, they took, sailing term only any port in a storm. That was a port that was available to them. So, Tawtown Hawk says they sell propane and propane accessories. I'm going to get that soundbite on the board. Reports indicate the newly established CSC has rejected numerous name, image, and likeness deals, particularly those involving donor-backed collectives.
Yeah,
We'll see on Friday.
Like all the collective deals. Yeah, we'll talk about it more on Friday. I think I hammered this point home already. My thoughts on it and stuff. I'm not going to get into it again today. We'll talk about it next Friday. But yeah, collective. If you're a collective, like you're done. You're not going to get a fat $1 million deal for an athlete anymore. That's just how it's going to be, and that's hard to accept.
A lot of these collectives have been brought in-house. So, I mean, I think that's going to play a part in it, that they're going to make sure that whatever collective deal they're doing through NIL is going to meet the standards of the school, university, athletic department. There's no amount of money that would get the Sabins to consider living in Lubbock. Steel Austin, $40 million, I think is what they spent on their roster this year. I think if somebody can afford to spend $40 million on NIL, they could probably afford to get Nick Saban to come to Lubbock, Texas.
That'd be so cool. I would love to see it. Bring Saban.
First, we got a gifted membership from Ricky Tungate. Thank you, Ricky Tungate. Applause there. And that gifted membership went to Daniel Gorby, who received a gift membership from Ricky Tungate.
Nice.
Make sure you thank Ricky in the chat, Daniel, if you've not done so already. And consider paying that one forward. Thank you, Ricky. Much appreciated, my Hoosier brother. Even if you doesn't like the Hoosiers, I like you.
I've got no issue with Indiana. I've got no issue. I've got an issue with Northwestern, man.
You called them milkers.
Purdue.
Come on. Yeah. You were going to lump Indiana until this past season. You would have lumped Indiana in there too.
I've looked at the long-term viewership ratings, and Indiana's consistently over 1 million per game in football. So no issues.
Troll grinding cheek clapper says, I would have preferred Utah over Oregon in the Big Ten. Once that Nike cash is gone, that team is dead. Utah has a more stable financial future. Listen, the media partners wanted Oregon. They did not want Utah. So they covered the freight. So
yeah. I mean, Utah's it's a pretty good fit for Big Ten, like as far as like the profile of the school.
Vox Quindaro says, I don't care what deal Utah could have taken. Utah took the deal the Big 12 offered. They did. And now bitch about it. Look in the mirror.
Look, here's the thing is, like, I think that Oklahoma State, KU, TCU, and some others, like, all need to be honest about it. Like, if you're KU, Vox, you're one of the best brands in the conference. You might have an outside chance to get in the SEC. Do you really want to double down and sign a private equity deal too? You're just as likely to get in the SEC as KU, as Utah is to get into some other conference. Like, what makes you so confident, like, that you want to double down in the Big 12 when you've got a chance to get into a conference that's paying 3 times as much? If I'm a KU fan, I would not. I'd be in the same exact mindset. Yeah, like I know that, like I know some unpopular take and stuff. Like I know that's a really unpopular take. It's just like you can't, like, why, like, you can't commit to a conference that's not even the top.
And you know, here's the thing: this whole show is based on private equity. If you're a private equity company, why are you signing on with the Big 12? You know, Utah wants out. Kansas would take the out. TCU would take the out. Colorado would take the out. Texas Tech would take the out.
Right.
Keeping count at home, that's 5 schools that I just listed in the Big 12 that would take the out. If the Big 10, the SEC, offered those teams deals, I'm telling you, they could offer them $0 deals, and I think they would take them. I really think they would take them. So if you're a private equity firm looking at the Big 12, you've got these teams, and we're going to go back to it, and we'll go back to it again. I know we've been talking about this for 3 weeks. Clandestine phone call. Big 12 teams, ACC teams, smash capital, no commissioners. No commissioners. There's clearly Big 12 teams, plural, that are not happy in the Big 12 and would be willing to leave. There's clearly ACC teams, plural, that are not happy in the ACC and would be willing to leave. If you're a private equity company, sell me on why it's a good idea to put your money with the Big 12.
You do that once you get the oath to stay. That's what I'm talking about, Moen. Like, you need commitment. You need a stronger Gore-like structure, a double Gore, essentially, that you'd sign with private equity to make sure you're not going to leave, because you screw up that deal and you screw that private equity firm if you leave, even on a buyout situation. So they want 100% commitment, and that's why I'm telling you, like, that's why this deal didn't go.
I don't disagree with you. I think they do want 100% commitment, but I mean, while you're having Ross Dellinger is, I put Ross Dellinger at the top of college football news. I do. If Ross Dellinger says something, I believe it. Ross has sources all over. He used the term clandestine. He did not use that word half-heartedly. He used the word clandestine because it was clandestine. It was kept from other Big 12 schools. It was kept from other ACC schools. If you're a private equity company and that news is out there, why would I want to do business with either the Big 12 or the ACC?
That's a good question. If there's no commitment, you don't do the deal. Hence why we don't have a deal.
Yeah, I seriously, I can't think of any other reason. Amazing Blue, $5 super chat says Saban did coach in East Lansing, aka Michigan's Lubbock. Oof. Send your hate to Amazing Blue. I did not say that. Fans of Texas Tech and Lubbock. Definitely give that to Amazing Blue. Give you a little.
Hey, man. Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man.
Thank you for the super chat, Amazing Blue. It is much appreciated, sir. But yeah, I mean, that's my private equity question. We don't know who was on the call yet. And that's still disturbing to me that we did not find out who was on that call. But at some point, we're going to find out who was on that call.
Mona, what do you think it means, though? Okay, there's this secret call and stuff. Really, what could be going on underneath the surface?
Again, we can judge, but we can judge based off of the ACC settlement with Clemson and Florida State. It said separate entity, some super conference, super league. What if it's 10 schools total saying we're going to put together a new football conference? We're going to have Florida State, Miami. I'm just guessing here. I don't know these people. Florida State, Miami, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Utah, Texas Tech, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Colorado in this new Smash Capital football only conference.
Well, that would put a ringer on a lot of things, wouldn't it?
It would. It would be hard for me to believe the ACC or the Big 12 would allow the schools that went into that conference to just keep their sports in the Big 12 or the ACC.
Yeah.
You would basically have to be looking for new ways to park your new areas to park your sports in. So
MBM says back to the Mountain West, stay in the pack. I think that's a reference to the Utah Utes there. And I get it. There is a lot of on this channel, I'm going to always be honest with our community. I'm not going to blow smoke and stuff and say it like it's not and everything. And if you want me to inflate stuff to prop up Big 12, then that's just not me. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be honest with you and stuff. Utah's never fit in Big 12. I don't know if it's ever going to be a fit and stuff. And I don't think Utah's going to commit long-term to the conference. That's just how it is. And that shouldn't be surprising. That's exactly how it was before. And it hasn't gone well. I like Big 12 fans more than Pac-12 fans because there's a lot of engagement. There's a lot of good people and stuff. So the people are fantastic. But as far as the school's culture, it's not a fit, guys. And so I just don't see Utah committing to the Big 12 long-term. And that's going to really upset people. I get that in Big 12 communities, but I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to play fanboy and stuff with it. It is what it is. Would you rather be honest or fake?
That's true. It's, and I've mentioned it on the channel before, would you rather have a beautiful lie or an ugly truth? Vox Quindaro says Kansas will do whatever Kansas determines best for Canvas, just like Utah did. Utah 100%. Took its best option. The whining is, I'm not going to say that. That's a YouTube flag. Thank you, Vox Quindaro, for the comment, though.
The only difference between KU and Utah is just the verbal elements of it, right? Just saying exactly, kind of like KU's in the exact same boat.
And Kansas is, they've been mentioned for both of the Power Two. The SEC and the Big Ten. So it's hard to say for Kansas sign on to this private capital deal that will lock you in the conference for 20 years if they believe that they have an out into the Power Two. We talked about it on Sunday, me and Rock. I had a conversation with somebody in an athletic department in the ACC. Captain's dilemma. You've got 8 people on a boat. You hit something, there's a big hole in your boat, you can't fix it. You got a life raft that holds 4 people. Do you save 4 people or do 8 people go down with the boat?
You save 4 people.
You save 4 people. So if the ACC, for example, loses, let's say the SEC wants North Carolina and Virginia bad, they can't get them out of their deals with the Wolfpack backpack, the Cavalier chandelier or whatever.
Souvenir, baby.
Souvenir. The Cavalier souvenir. You take Florida State and Clemson to just weaken the ACC to the point the states of North Carolina and Virginia are so happy to save 2 of their schools, they let them go. And I think the same thing is true of the Big 12. I think Kansas State, I think if it came down to it and it was either Kansas, either we get nobody in or we get Kansas in, I think the state of Kansas lets Kansas get into one of those Power 2 conferences.
Right.
And I think the same thing is true of Texas. If it comes down to it, and let's say Texas Tech has put so much money into it, and they've advanced in the playoffs. They've even won a national championship at that point. Does the state of Texas say, Texas Tech, you cannot go because of Baylor? Or do they say, Baylor, you're going to have to live in the Big 12. Texas Tech is moving on to the Power 2.
Well, they'll let Texas Tech go.
They would let Texas Tech
point.
go.
Yeah.
And that's a situation that this person in the ACC felt. He compared it to a Jenga tower. You take Florida State and Clemson in the SEC. You may not want Florida State and Clemson. You take them to just kind of pull that one. You want that tower to lean, guys. You want that tower to lean. Then the Big 12 or the Big 10 comes in and takes Georgia Tech, Miami. The top 3 brands in the ACC are gone at that point. Does the state of North Carolina or the state of Virginia say, go down with the ship, UNC, go down with the ship, UVA? Or do they say, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, you guys have a home in the Big 12. We're going to have to let Virginia and North Carolina go to the SEC or the Big 10, whichever one you want to put it to. So I don't know. I don't disagree with you, Jansen. I don't think while there's an opportunity for anybody to get into the Power 2 that they're going to sign a long-term agreement with a private equity company.
Moan, it would be actually irresponsible to do so if you're in the administration. If you think that you have an opportunity to better and you're going to shackle your school down, that would be inappropriate to do without weighing all your options and future potential. And so there you go, guys.
Absolutely.
Anyone that KU, they're not signing. Utah's not signing. Texas Tech's probably not signing. Oklahoma State, I don't know if they're going to sign or not. Colorado's probably not signing.
Yeah. Arizona State not signing.
No, you can't sign. It's irresponsible to sign at this point in time.
All right, while I go, my teeth are floating, obviously, after an hour and 43 minutes. I'm going to let you go ahead and pull up your private equity deck, and I am going to go hit the head.
Well, check it out. So here we go. We're going to talk about private capital here. So just to set the table here, so with private capital, all of the 4 major conferences are considering private capital. We're going to give an overview of this, but the Big 10 is actually working currently with Evercore, which is an investment bank, to vet out and find the right partners to do a private capital deal with. The SEC is working with Goldman Sachs to do the same thing. They're trying to find a private capital partner. So that's exactly where they're at right now. Preliminary stages. They're not too deep in the game, but they're looking at vetting out, doing the analysis with these other firms and seeing what deal they can get. So setting the table there with the Power 2. Here we go. Everyone knows this. This is something that a lot of people want. This is a legit thing here. Smash Capital and Project Rudy. Smash Capital is the one that brought up Project Rudy. And I know a lot of people in the Big Ten laugh at Project Rudy and everything, but it's a legit idea, guys. Smash Capital is a private capital firm that wants to fund Project Rudy, that says they can bring in $9 billion in investment to form a 70-team Super League that's more regionalized. And you're looking at basically kicking out the FCS teams and making the G6 a league of its own in Project Rudy. So there's going to be the big idea here with Project Rudy is there's not multiple media negotiations for media rights. You bulk all of the FBS media rights together, then you go to market. So you basically have a monopoly on all the media rights to get the best deal possible. That's what the NFL does with their product. They don't negotiate based on the NFC and the AFC. They have the whole product there and they go to market with all the power product. That's the idea with Smash Capital, because look, the SEC and the Big Ten, they make a lot of money, but they could make a lot more if they pool the rights with everybody else. That's the idea of Smash Capital. Is it going to happen? I do not think so. Moan certainly doesn't think so, because here's the caveat that nobody likes to really talk about too, is that if you do this deal and you pool the media rights together, then all of a sudden it creates a better, more equal playing field for all of the 70 teams that are involved in this pool. And you lose your competitive financial advantage if you're an SEC or Big Ten school that you had before. Right now, it's a 3 times financial advantage over the Big Ten and the ACC. You lose a bit of that doing a structure like this. So there's going to be huge pushback, especially from the brands of the SEC and the Big Ten. That's why it's never going to work and stuff, because you give up your advantage financially versus other schools. Moan?
But we know that Smash Capital was involved in a clandestine phone call with Big 12 teams and ACC teams. So if they're not getting Project Rudy, what are they getting?
Okay, so we're going back to this. So Smash Capital, here we're going into a new realm. Smash Capital doesn't get all 70 teams in the FBS, but if they're involved in this clandestine call with a bunch of ACC schools and some select Big 12 schools, then they could be trying to work out a deal. I mean, like, to me, it seems like some type of best of the rest deal. Like where you get the biggest brands and like you market those football rights and then you go to market with them, backed by private capital. I think that's pretty easy to see. If Smash Capital wants to get involved there, like, does that involve 12 teams, 16 teams, 20 teams? That's the question, right?
That's a question, yeah. But I mean, is it a situation where Smash Capital says, let's take the 4 best from the Big 12, the 6 best from the ACC, form this football-only conference, and we will pay the remainder of the Big 12, the remainder of the ACC, to allow us to do this in order for those schools to keep their sports, their other sports that are non-football sports, in those conferences. Because look, I mean, it's going to be hard to find conference homes for some of these sports. I mean, let's say it's Arizona State, Utah, Colorado, and Oklahoma State that make the cut. That make the cut in the Big 12. Just throwing names out here. Where do they park basketball? Where do they park baseball? Where do they park wrestling? You may need multiple conferences to house all these different sports these major A4 schools sponsor.
Yeah, what does that mean for, like, if this were to happen, like Stanford in California?
Yeah,
like, if they're not involved in that, what the heck are they going to do?
You would almost believe that Stanford and Cal would have to be involved in that if the Big 12 was involved in that, simply based on geography. At least I think so. Stanford and Cal, Colorado, ASU, Utah, Oklahoma State, a Texas school, Texas Tech, I think being the most obvious. Would have to figure into that, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it's one of those things that private equity, Smash Capital, clandestine phone call, you would have to consider. But even if we take the Smash Capital out of it, let's say RedBird. We know that RedBird was mentioned as a potential Big 12 private equity candidate.
Right.
How does RedBird feel if Kansas is saying, no, we won't sign Utah saying no, we won't sign. Arizona State saying we won't sign. Colorado's saying we won't sign. Texas Tech is saying we won't sign. I would imagine you would need a 3/4 vote to get private equity established, but your preference would be a unanimous decision. I don't think the Big 12 can get to 3/4 at this point. I don't think the ACC can get to 3/4.
No. Yeah, I agree with you.
So how does private equity factor into the Big 12 and ACC at this point? I don't know that they do.
So if the Big 12 and the ACC don't have access to private capital because of the lack of long-term commitment from member schools, what does that mean? That's the question, right? What does that mean?
I think it's not that they're never going to get private equity. I think it means that they're going to be on the back end of private equity. As we say in Ohio, they're going to be sucking hind tit. They are. And I'm sorry, but the private equity is going to want to know what the Big Ten and the SEC are doing first. And if the Big Ten gets a private equity deal and it lets them expand to Georgia Tech and Miami and Notre Dame and Duke and Stanford and Cal, then there'll be another private equity company that could come in and say, okay, the Big Ten hit 24 teams. They're definitely not expanding again. Let's talk to the Big 12 or the ACC. Same thing with the SEC. Let's say the SEC, we go based on the captain's dilemma. Clemson and Florida State move first in order to free up North Carolina and Virginia. Private equity goes 20-team SEC. We think that's the end of expansion. Now we can talk to the ACC or the Big 12.
It will be interesting to see.
Daniel Gygax, why would you take it from a former outsider of the Big 12? He's a West Virginia fan. It's a fun conference. Absolutely. I think the Big 12 is one of those fun conferences because you never know who's going to win. There's never any dominant teams in the Big 12.
Yes.
Everybody has a
Agree with
chance.
that. And I would say that West Virginia, has always had eyes on the ACC. I think that West Virginia would love to get the ACC. They're going to invite to the ACC regional stuff. So West Virginia's not so different in a lot of ways.
And that's a rumor that went out there earlier or later this week that West Virginia was looking at the ACC. So
I didn't even see that, seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't put much faith in it. Jason Spangler says exactly. There's nothing to gain.
If you're in alignment, there's a lot to gain from private capital. I think that it's a no-brainer, honestly. You just have to be 100% aligned. Everybody says we're in this. We're not going anywhere.
Justin R. says, don't worry. When the AAC gets rated, it will rise from the ashes and become a non-football conference, and they will just put their teams there. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Is Florida State going to play basketball in the AAC?
Jose says Utah versus Florida State, week 0, Smash League kickoff in Ireland.
There we go.
It could happen.
Could happen.
Could happen. Art Gross says, what makes Utah a bad fit for the conference? They aren't a huge brand with a ton of success. They don't have the money of other major brands. It just seems like a superiority thing.
Utah, what they want to be, they want to be a large research institution associated with other large research institutions, largely on the West Coast. They want to be exactly what they were in the Pac-12. So that's the number one idea there. Also, I mean, it just seems like Utah, the Big 12 is so much like Utah in a lot of ways, where Utah has always performed as the underdog punching up and outperforming. And now they're in the same conference full of a bunch of schools that punch up too. And it's not easy just to be excellent anymore because you're kind of just in the same area with a lot of the same types of teams. So I think that like a team like Utah in a different conference could punch up, make a lot more impact and stuff away from that type of situation where you're back to almost like that chip on the shoulder underdog in a bigger conference and making noise rather than just kind of in a realm where there's a lot of like schools. And I think there's other schools in the Big 12 like that too. I think West Virginia is much like that. I think West Virginia, if they were in a different conference too, like the ACC, I could see them making serious noise. So Utah's not different than other schools in the Big 12, but just for the greatness that a lot of Ute fan wants, they just don't see that happening in the Big 12, guys. That's how it is.
Fair enough. Go Black 45 says the thing is the schools that want to leave will have to agree to play the left behind schools for at least a decade or more, or the legislators will force it on them. Go Black 45 again. Captain's dilemma. Do they agree to do that and lose the opportunity for North Carolina and Virginia to go to the SEC? I don't know. When you're a legislator and you're put, some survive, some don't. I think you've got to talk, survival. I think that's more important, having your flagship schools, North Carolina and Virginia, get into the SEC than making sure that they play North Carolina State and Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jack Matheson, good to see you, Jack. Respect your opinion, Ute, but strong disagree. I think the Utah culture fits way better in Big 12 than Pac-12. The schools we fit with most came along with us.
Yeah, and then Jack's a Utah guy too. So this opinion that I have is not shared amongst all Ute fans, obviously. A lot of them do share that too. That's just the opinion of this speaker right here.
Go Black 45 again. Moen, do you really think Cal gets in the Big down the road? I think the Big is going to hit 20 with Georgia Tech and Miami. And then Notre Dame's going to come along at 21. And I think the Big Ten will probably allow them to bring in 3 schools, get to 24. I do believe those schools would be Duke, Stanford, and Cal. Simply because Notre Dame, they got Stanford and Cal into the ACC. They clearly want to rub elbows with Stanford and Cal. So that's why I put it out there. I don't know. All I've been told is Georgia Tech and Miami are the 2 preferred among the Big Ten at this point.
I don't think there's any way Cal gets in the Big Ten conference. Stanford, very likely. Cal, no way.
I think if the Big Ten gets to 24, Cal gets in.
I don't see it.
I know. It's Cal Berkeley, though, and people want to rub elbows with them. Troll Grinding Cheek Clapper, my favorite username on YouTube. Damn, I'm too risk adverse. The idea of partnering with Smash Capital, which started in 2018 over 156-year-old Goldman Sachs, would give me unwarranted stress. Excuse me. Yes. But remember, I wouldn't put too much faith in Goldman Sachs either. I remember the Great Recession of 2006. Or was it 2008 when Goldman Sachs went under? So I don't know that I would put too much faith in Goldman Sachs.
Well, Goldman Sachs isn't going to be your private capital partner. They're the broker to find you the partner. That's the big idea there. Like Goldman's not going to actually fund the money to the SEC. They're going to find the right capital partner to do it, which might be Smash Capital for the SEC too. So Goldman's just like that in between. The middleman.
They're the middleman. Vox Quindaro says Mrs. Quindaro wants me to be Sean Connery circa 1965, but that ain't happening either. Brother, go get you a chest. What do they call those things? A chest wig.
Hair?
Chest wig. They call them something else in the movies. I forget what the hell they call them, but you get you one of them. Learn to talk with a Scottish accent.
She'll be all into it.
Rewatch. What's the one with the volcano where he becomes Japanese? I can't remember. James Bond when he becomes Japanese, 1965.
No way.
You only live twice. Watch You Only Live Twice on repeat, Max Quindaro. I believe in you. I believe you'll do it. I do. Troll Grinding Sheet Clapper says academic-wise, Utah and USC has partnered a ton together on research compared to the hundreds of dollars Oregon has put towards research. God bless you, Troll Grinding Sheet Clapper. That is true. Glenn Hanna says it's a fun atmosphere in Utah, especially during a good season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some great games between Oregon and Utah.
Argraw says the Big Ten has enough West Coast teams. We don't need more. Okay. Fair enough. Jose says Cal is dead weight. Again,
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes down to who Notre Dame wants to join them. I think Notre Dame's going to have a lot of say.
Stanford only. So give us the Cardinal.
I don't think you're getting Stanford without Duke. I really don't, because they're both members of the Ivy League library system. I think for Stanford to give that up to join the Big Ten Academic Alliance, they want Duke to give that up and join the Big Ten Academic Alliance. Vox Quindaro says, I am Scotch-Irish, no cap. You're 50% of the way there. There you go. Our girl reminds us you only live twice. Absolutely. Great James Bond film if you just suspend your disbelief. Probably the best, my favorite theme from a James Bond movie. You Only Live Twice with Nancy Sinatra. Fantastic. The Big Ten will take a Texas school before Cal, especially if they already have a Stanford. Again, I think it's going to come down to Notre Dame picking who they want to come with them.
I think that Devil Frog, I think TCU is the school, though, if you're looking in Texas for – and that, I know we looked at, the academics, and that didn't fit. TCU, though, academically, is an elite university.
So is Rice.
They still do a lot of research.
So
right,
is
but
Rice.
but nobody doesn't have the brand of TCU. TCU is to me, if the Big Ten ever went to Texas, it's going to be a TCU.
I get it. I get the fact that TCU, the market it's in, the Dallas-Fort Worth market, is important. But, and I have to say this, very low enrollment, very small school. I think if it came down to it, they would probably take Texas Tech if they knew Texas Tech was going to make the investment. Yes, Lubbock is a small town, but so is State College, Pennsylvania.
Texas Tech's a small town, and Texas Tech's very far away.
Well,
I don't think so. To me, it's a little bit different, and I think that's where it would keep Texas Tech away from the Big Ten. Houston just doesn't have the brand. If they had a big brand, Houston probably would be a good fit for Big Ten, given the city makeup. Baylor, it's more of religious school, smaller, private. It just doesn't seem like that. TCU, to a degree, is kind of like that too, but less so. I think TCU, you get Dallas. I mean, TCU or SMU.
Let's be honest. Number one on their list would be A&M. They would try and get A&M away from the SEC. But I think number two would be Texas Tech if Texas Tech had that commitment to make themselves a larger research university, etc. But I don't think they're getting into Texas. I think they're leaving Texas. I don't care which conference the Utes end up in as long as don't cancel the Holy War again. I won't say that. I've got a little more tact than Seansky wants me to. Seansky wants me to sully myself.
Maybe the Utes aren't going anywhere. They're in the Big 12 today.
They're in the Big 12 right now. So what flavor of MD is on tap for next time?
I'm not drinking MD.
No more MD.
No way.
Yeah, no more MD, guys.
MD is rough.
It's rough, and you got to get stuff that you can buy in Utah. We can't have any more bootlegging operations going on here.
There was a mysterious package that ended up at my front door.
Right. Vox Quindaro says Nancy's best performance. It's up there, man. It's up there. Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, though. That's my favorite Nancy Sinatra, but that's just me. Jose says Nickelback and Coldplay are terrible. We can all agree with that.
Nickelback's there's nothing like Coldplay. Nickelback's its own like realm. Nickelback's no good, guys.
They're
Coldplay's
both
good.
terrible bands, though. I mean, you've
Stop
got
it,
to
Mo. They're not Everybody loves Coldplay in Utah.
in Utah, exactly. Rice makes the most sense in academics. TCU makes the most sense in athletics. But Penn State is also the premier school of the fifth biggest state. State college can be small when you have no other competition in the state. Pitt fans, send your hate mail to our Graw.
Mo, there's no Pitt fans out there.
That's true. Eat shit, Pitt. Texas Tech ranks 15th out of 16th in academics in the Big 12. Don't tell me that's a fit. Yeah, but they've got a lot of billionaires, Stormy Cyclone. They got billionaires. Billionaires can get those academics up quick. Tech was in the 150 to 200 range in U.S. News and World Report's rankings last few years, if memory serves correct.
Tech's not getting in the Big Ten, Moen. You know that.
I don't think any Texas team is getting in. I honestly believe that Notre Dame would prefer Stanford and Cal.
Cal's not getting in the Big Ten.
Okay. Movie Time Blue says Coldplay is this generation's Air Supply. Man, I don't know. I think I might put Air Supply a little more manly than Coldplay. When I'm looking for style tips, I always turn to the Graper Ute. There you go. Troll Grinding Cheap Clapper says, I wouldn't mind seeing the Texas A&M male yell squad alongside the USC Song Girls. Would make them Texas boys seem a bit normal for one game. Aggie fans, send your hate mail to Troll Grinding Cheek Clapper.
Do you know if we were like SEC, like in the SEC, how much crap we'd give Texas A&M? We would just nail Texas A&M. I love Texas A&M people. I work with a lot of them and stuff. I've been to an A&M game before. Freaking great fan base, great people, but they do some weird stuff, man. They do some weird stuff out there.
Listen, I'd be happy to have them Texas A&M in the Big Ten. Devil Frog says every school in Texas has billionaires from the oil field. Tempest says Miami got cartels. And we'll end it with this. MBM. That's why everyone hates A&M. So everybody hate on the A&M, the Texas A&M Aggies. Hate on them. That is what MBM has declared. So be it. He is a winner.
Winner.
And we're going to give him that one. For myself and Wild Ute, I want to thank Ricky Tungate, Lonnie BYU #1, college football's peak around the corner with Greg Flugart, Ryan Willie, Lonnie BYU #1 twice again, and then Ryan Willie twice, and then Daniel Gorby, and then Ricky Tungate, who gifted one college football membership to Daniel Gorby. And then Amazing Blue with the super chat as well. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us on a Friday night here on the College Football Mafia. Sunday night, Mowing After Dark with myself and Rock and Rant. Tune in at 8 p.m. on Sunday for that. Oh, wait, I don't know that I dropped any juicy tidbits. Well, I don't know. I don't remember if I dropped them or not, guys. So tune in Sunday at 8 o'clock with myself and Rock and Rant. And if I go back and watch this and find out I didn't, I'll try and drop them then. For myself, for Wild Ute, want to remind everybody to have a good, happy weekend. Stay safe. Next week on the Big Freaking Friday show, we will have the adjudication on the CSC, the Deloitte Clearinghouse. Until then, thank you everybody who joined us this week, and peace out.